Hi guys, so I recently ordered some parts for my bike in the post, and realizing that my first video with the parcel unpacking was quite popular, I thought I'd go ahead and film myself opening this one for you. It's a small package, but I'll try to make the video substantial. Some crinkly sounds, of course. You'll notice I've obviously had to black out certain details with this Sharpie Magnum. Because I'm oh so very important that my identity needs to remain a secret. I've got my trusty Victoria Knox pocket knife. I've had this for about 20 years. Jesus, I'm not that old. For about 10 years. It's seen better days, but it's still very, very reliable, and I use it regularly. I told you it was a small package. Okay, so I think it's time to open up and see what's inside. So I need to decide how to open this package. I think I'm gonna try the shorter blade, which is slightly sharper than the longer blade. I'll try this first. video, and I've only had likes so far, so I'm gonna take that as praise and make some more. The beauty, I guess, for you guys of the video game ASMR videos is they require a lot less editing and, frankly, I guess a lot less work. I mean, I still have to put time and effort into thinking about keeping up talking, especially, which can be especially difficult for me because I've played games as a hobby for so long that it feels quite strange to talk throughout the duration of the game session, but it still requires less time and effort than setting up the camera and the microphone levels and getting the white balance and focus correct, and then making sure my camera doesn't crash like it can sometimes, and getting props ready. So I should be able, what I'm trying to say is I should be able to make videos more regularly if I squeeze some gameplay videos in between videos like this one. Okay. So I hope there was nothing too abrasive or loud. So it's time to see what's inside the package that I ordered. I'll just get some water first. Okay, so this will have my name and address all over it, I'm sure. Okay, so I actually ordered these parts from the same website, Custom Riders. If you are living in the UK and you are into BMX by any chance, I mean, I don't know what the odds are of that. And to add to those unrealistic odds that you also haven't heard of Custom Riders before, I'd suggest checking them out. They've always got the newest stuff in stock, and they always got a really good range, and they do, their prices are pretty competitive as BMX prices can be, which isn't very typically, but they've got good service and quick postage and all that kind of jazz. So here I'm looking at an invoice for one Eclat BMX stroke chain, black. One Cool Stop brake blocks BMX, dual threaded. refunded me the price of postage, because if you order over a certain amount, you get free postage. So I wasn't actually expecting to get that money back, but you know, it ended up being £7, which is pretty nice of them, really, I think. Anyway, so a few more crinkle sounds before I start to remove the items. Okay, I think that's enough. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Nothing else. It's a bit like pass the parcel, or pass the parcel. Pass. I don't know if other countries have that game for children, where they sit in a circle and have a gift wrapped in multiple layers of gift wrapping paper, and music plays, and every time the music stops, the children have to stop passing the parcel, and the child that has the parcel in their hands at the time is allowed to remove one layer of wrapping paper, and then the music begins again, and the last layer of wrapping paper that is removed by the child doing so means that the child that does unwrap the last layer is allowed to keep the gift inside. It was a really fun game as a child, but looking back, it's also a terrifying, eye-opening insight into human nature and greed. Children holding on to the package for longer than they are supposed to, and removing more than a single layer at a time, getting upset and angry when they don't get the gift, rather than being happy for the child that does get the gift. Human beings. We are absurd creatures. Even at this very moment, I'm opening this package that I paid for using make-believe money that is represented by numbers that were digitally created and represented on an online bank account in order to purchase and have delivered to me physical material possessions that bring me happiness over love and friendship. I'm joking. I'm not joking. But to a certain degree, I am. We all like nice things. There's nothing wrong with a certain degree of materialism. The problem comes from sacrificing our values and ethics in place of that materialism. So, it's all a question of balance. And we're all capable, most of us are capable of finding that balance. It's just a case of making the conscious decision every day, not just once or sometimes, to exercise the restraint necessary to value friendship, honesty, respect, and love, compassion over desire and want, greed. Maybe how should I know? I'm just some guy making some whisper videos for all my brothers and sisters that, like me, require a certain level of distraction and relaxation in order to sleep at night. Okay. Look at this cheesy packaging. It's pretty funny. This packet is awesome. It's so ridiculous. BMX break. How much text do they want? This guy is having a lot of fun too. Look at this guy. I just took a break to check back some of the footage, and my girlfriend is watching me do this on Skype right now. And I showed her the BMX brake pads, and she thought they were pretty funny too. Let me just read this. Okay, so it says for threaded stem brake systems featuring cool stops, special BMX formula compound for smooth, safe braking in all types of weather. Designed for easy tire removal from systems with tight brake clearance, which is good for me because I really do. I switched frames and the space between the brake pads and the rim is really tight, so it's good that these are quite narrow. Exclusive rim-friendly compound. Patented angle tip. Plows mud and rain off rims. And then there's some rules on the back. Rules, instructions. Clean rim surface before installing new pads. Place new cool stop pads into brake caliper arms and finger tighten nuts. pressure. Do not over tighten. Brake-in pads. Full stopping power may not develop until after several braking applications. That is a motorbike or a pizza delivery man on a scooter. It's not a real motorbike. Let's just wait for this guy to take off, shall we? Bye, pizza dude. Hello, airplane. Proper toe in alignment prevents brake chatter. Brake chatter is that really loud squeaking sound that your brakes make, and it's when the pads don't correctly make contact with the rim. Check pad and rim alignment after the pads are broken in and after every ride. To configure washers, pliers may be necessary to remove bottom washer from anti-slip base. Important: do not ride bike until brakes are checked and functioning properly. Designed for bicycle use only, aka not for use with motorbikes or scooters that aren't really motorbikes, driven by pizza delivery dudes. All cool stop pads meet or exceed CPSC and DIN bicycle standards. Now, as naff as the packaging is, I've been on forums and spoken to people, and these have got nothing but the best reviews. People basically say they are the best brake pads. I think they look kind of cool in their own way too. So that's item number 1. Item number 2. I think in the original video I did, I showed a brake cable already. Odyssey Quick Slick cable. Now I already have one of these cables, but this is the newer version. The difference between the one I have and this one is this part here has 3 notches, and it connects to this part here. Now, depending which notch you apply this segment of the braking cable system to, will determine how slack or how tight the cable is. So there's a degree of adjustment without having to cut the cable, which is the significant part for me, because the original version of this cable, this is a new design. This design with these notches and this adjustment system, they don't exist on other braking systems. Normally you have to yank the cable through this housing yourself and then quickly tighten it, whereas this is just 3 easy steps and they just pop into place. Now, the reason that the adjustable nature of this cable is important to me is because with the original cable there wasn't this system, it was just all one piece and attached, and the only way you could really adjust the cable's tightness was by cutting the cable. Now, if you've never had to cut a brake cable before to make it fit properly and get the tension right on it, then good for you. I hope you never have to. It's not fun and it's not easy, and you really need a specific cutting tool that is really, really sharp and has a lot of force to cut through one of these. It's got so much threaded steel wire inside it. It's crazy. So I did cut my brake cable to try and adjust it, and I didn't do a very good job, I guess, because I can't really brake now. I mean, I pull the brake and the pads make contact with the rim, but it just takes forever to slow down, which isn't really good when you're doing about 25 miles an hour, which is faster than you might think when you're riding a bicycle, and you're about to run into the back of a double-decker bus, so, or even worse, into the front of one coming straight towards you. So I really need to sort out my braking situation, and hopefully that's going to solve it. This was more of a pleasure buy, I guess. My chain is really good, it's bomb-proof, but I wanted a black one. So now I have a black one. That sounded odd. Now I have a black chain. Although my current chain is really good, it's an older design, and I guess chain technology, I shouldn't do that because it is actually chain technology, has progressed quite a lot. These side plates have hollow cutouts in the middle to save weight, but are actually stronger than older ones. This is a half-link chain, which means that they link in one direction, and they can't link in both, whereas classic chains, they're made up in a way that if you were to remove a chain link, you'd have to remove a link and a half every time in order to get the chain to relink together. Whereas with a half-link chain, you can just remove one link, and the links are shorter. The value in that is that you can get a precise length with a half-link chain, so you can get your wheel to sit in your rear dropouts a lot closer to what you'd be happy with. The downside is half-link chains are heavier. And classically, they're a lot weaker than a really good standard chain, like the one I have. And half-link chains have been known to stretch. Which isn't good. But the company, I don't know how you pronounce this still, whether it's Eclat or Eclat or something else that I haven't thought of. Let's just call it Eclat. I'm pretty sure Americans call it Eclat. They're known for trying to be progressive with their designs in all their components, and in the product description they've said that this really is a strong chain, so I'm going to have faith. I'm going to return back to using a half-link chain, even though my chain has been more than good enough to put up with anything I can throw it in. I wanted a black chain. I thought it would look nicer than a silver chain. sign off for my videos, and I always really liked the Truman Show when Truman said, "If I don't see you later, then good morning, good afternoon, and good night." But obviously that already exists, and being from Wales, I thought maybe I could put a Welsh twist on it. So I was thinking, bore da, prynawn da, anos da, which is good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Now, although we're at the end of the video, I know lots of you like crinkling sounds, so I thought I'd say goodbye now and leave you with some crinkling sounds for a minute or two. So, bore da, prynawn da, anos da.